In the heart of Nigeria lies a town named Ashaka, where life was once peaceful. Until one day in March 2011, when chaos erupted, changing the lives of its residents forever. Boko Haram insurgents attacked, leaving the town in turmoil. Among the chaos, Yohana, a native of Ashaka, and his friends face a decision that would alter their lives irreversibly.
Danjuma! 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 Danjuma!
After when Boko Haram come and attack Bajoga division, Ashaka cement outpost, the friend of mine went there and took machine. After when he took machine, the next day he bring it in his house. His mother asked him, "Where do you bring this machine from?" Then the boy answered his mother that he picked the machine from that day, that incident, that it mean yesterday, that Boko Haram came and attacked Ashaka police division. So he went there, he saw machine beside, and he picked the machine. So the mother told him to return the machine where he picked it, so that the machine will not cause him harm, or it will not cause them trouble. So on his way going, he meets his friend. He told him that this machine, I pick it from where Boko Haram come and attacked. He's a corporal, police. He's working in Ashaka as an officer. So he knows him.
So he went and meet with me. Told me that, see what happened, that the day of the incident of the Boko Haram, that's when he picked this bike. And the parents were allowed to take the bike to the house. So you have to return to the bike where he take the motorcycle from. I told him that if this case, I have to call Malga and explain to Malga. Now me alone cannot arrest you and take you to the division. Let me call Malga. I called Malga's PNG, patrol and guard. He told me as hold on that he's going to send one police for me to assist me and take the boy to the police station. How should my PNG do that? I sent the police call there and I reported my case there and make my entry.
Driven by a youthful lapse in judgment, Yohana's choice leads him into the unforgiving hands of law enforcement.
So from there, they go to state CID and he writes some statement where he picked the machine, his age, his religion, and some other things. But nothing like Boko Haram then. They detained him in their custody, state CID. They didn't release him.
So tell me, what's your name? Yohana, sir. Open your mouth and they talk to you. Yohana, sir. Yohana? Yes, sir. How old are you?
So I'm 18.
18?
Yes, sir.
You don't pass 18 years?
So I'm 18.
You, the way I see you like this, you pass 18 years. You sure say na 18 years you
So I'll be 18.
Yohana.
So,
Now where they follow you, they talk like this. You know what, say tell me the truth.
Oga,
That Okada, where you get am?
Oga, I see the Okada for floor. I use am go carry my brother.
No one how you go tell me say you see the Okada for ground. Now you kill that police officer with that when they use the bike.
Don't me kill am. I no be Boko Haram.
Then how the motorcycle take reach your hand?
Oga, na ground I see am. I use am go carry my brother.
No! You know still want to tell me the truth.
Oga, wallahi.
But as now what do you want to be that? I will show you the way. We be say,
Oga.
this is where they find you go tell me.
Oga, no be Boko Haram. Oga, no be Boko Haram.
I see. If I don't finish torture you, you go tell me all your friends wanna do this thing together. Now tell me their names.
Sir, I see bike for guys. I go carry my brother. I don't be Boko Haram. I don't be Boko Haram.
What began as a simple case of mistaken identity escalated rapidly.
They now bring the boy to side in Gombe here. After the side in Gombe here, they now move the guy to Abuja. First side.
Johanna is thrust into a world of unimaginable horror. The SARS unit, a place where shadows cast by humanity loom large.
You say you know you go around, Abi? Idiot. You know why I'm going to come out today? No, tie your leg first. Tie your leg first. Finish. You know what, Professor? You think we're joking with you here? You don't want to say the truth. Why? Give me that cutlass there, make I finish.
God, beg.
Say you should be fine. You say you should go around.
My friend.
You're not person who go.
Gonna.
Who be gone?
My friend.
I'm waiting.
Now David.
I'm waiting.
David.
Who is David?
Yes, sir.
Who is David?
My friend.
He's your friend too.
In the face of unbearable agony, Johanna speaks names. Names of innocence, including those sworn to protect.
They asked him that he should answer that he's a member of Boko Haram. If he does not answer, they will kill him. So after, as he see the others they kill, so he's afraid, fear hold him. So he has nothing to do than for him to answer so that he will spare his life. So he answered that he's a member of Boko Haram. Then, during torture, he mentioned me and others. We are almost 13 in numbers. So from there, from Abuja for CID Area 10, they went to our houses. They go there and arrest us there.
I was arrested on 24th of May. I did May 2012. When they arrested me, they took me to the police, that's SARS. They took me to Gombe CID, State CID. We spent one day there. The next day, they carry us to Abuja. That's first CID Abuja. They detained us for like 3 weeks without questioning us or anything. After 3 weeks, they call us that we are to write a statement.
When I was arrested, it was clearly known that I was an artist because I was popular then. Because I do music, I was popular then. The boy who mentioned my name, he was like he wanted me to be his mentor, something like that. I don't know him, but he has my songs all over his phone. Because when I was arrested, he told them that he was always listening to my own songs. So that's why mistakenly my name was mentioned. And it was not my real name he called, it was my nickname.
They took me from Ashaka to Bajoga Division, from Bajoga Division to State CID, Gombe State. So from there, the following day, we come for investigation.
The line between the victim and perpetrator blurs. Even law enforcement officers aren't safe from the menace of unchecked power.
Now the game mention people name also mean that who arrest him, you see him mention my name. At time, I used to train them, give them dangerous weapon. That's how the police now. This CID from Abuja now. They come, they invite us. He invite other 2 policemen. And the other guy is late now. This Mark here is late. And involve other people, even one of Ashaka's men. He also involved me. That's Isakano. He also is late. He invited all the people that are wrong, they are staying together in the street, their neighbor. He also invited them to the case. So all of us, we are 8 number.
They ask, they say, okay, what do you say they are? Then the boy say, he say we are a member of Boko Haram, and we are not. He fear torture. The police that torture him from underground, they are the one that asked him to answer that he's a member of Boko Haram, but we are not member of Boko Haram. The boy says so. Then they say, okay, they will not release us. They will take us to write statement. So it was from there, they remove our clothes, they leave us with a boxer, direct to underground. When they take us to underground, they started hanging us up and down. They turned our head up and down. They put my leg for up. They started torturing us. They say, we are a member of Boko Haram. We should accept that we are a member of Boko Haram. We say we are not a member of Boko Haram.
You see this name I announced? Wrong man. You don't want to talk?
They put electric shocking in our blockers to torture us. They use iron cane. They block us. They use some cutlass, hit us, all in this and that. They use plier to remove one of our big disease. Some of us faint. Some of us died there. We did not agree. Blood everywhere is coming from our blood in our body. So after they did to all of us like that. But none of us answered that we are a member of Boko Haram. We say we didn't know anything about this thing. If they want to kill us, let them kill us. So from there, we are there. They transfer us to Wuse Zone 3. From Wuse Zone 3, we stayed there with the same torture. They put on cup. They are beating us in cells. From there, they transfer us to New Busakainji Road. We didn't know that we are in New Busakainji Road. It was in the pure water. They are giving us once a day. So we saw the address in our place where we are staying.
We stay for first CID area 10, almost 6 months before they come carry us to area 7, zone 7, Abuja. We spent good 8 months for there before they come transfer us from that place and carry us. They took us to Niger State. That's Nigerian Army. They keep us for there. We spent good 1 year. Marks for face, anchor for hand, leg chain for leg. That's why we spent good 1 year for there. So all in all, from police custody to Nigerian Army, we spent good 3 years.
At the time, Boko Haram were fighting the military. So anytime the Boko Haram have upper hand on them, they will come and lay their frustration on us. We spent like 2 to 3 days without eating.
Till the next day, we didn't see anything. Then the upper day, they bring pure water for us. When we are crying, some other people, if they sleep, they will not wake up. Some they have died. They are crying for hunger. Hungry is disturbing them. Crying. Almost every blessed day, before they bring food, 1 or 2 people, they will be dying. People are dying there. We start drying. We start link. So after, we say, what is the name of this place that we are? It's from the pure water that they give us. After we take the pure water, we check the address. We see we are in New Busa
Kainji Road, Niger State.
From one division to another division. So along the way now, you carry us go to airport, put us for the private jet. He took us to New Busakidis Kenjida. I hide us there for 11 months. That's where our people begin to look for us that they should bring us out, that we are not Boko Haram, and should take us to court.
Dear colleagues, I believe you've taken a review of the case we have in hand. And I believe you agree with me that it is horrific. I will propose that we take this case on pro bono basis. We cannot allow this to happen. We cannot ignore this act of injustice. We will take it and fight for their rights. To serve as an example to other erring law enforcement agents that may want to repeat this in this country. We cannot allow this to continue in this country. What do you think?
I totally agree.
I totally agree, sir.
Thank you. Let's get to work.
It was our lawyer that petitioned the IG of police, and the IG of police command our IPO that he should bring us from anywhere he put us. He should bring us. We didn't know that our lawyers, Barrister Deji, Barrister Desire, Oni Julius, and Barrister Paruk Kamal Kamagam, they really try. The soldiers, the police there, they say we are lucky people. Since they started bringing suspect, they have never transferred any person from there.
Now, when first discharged and acquitted our case for High Court Abuja.
These guys were picked up and kept in solitary confinement for a very long period. Nobody, in fact, at a point, their families didn't even know where they were. So eventually, when we were contacted, we did our homework and we realized that they had been in the custody of the police. The allegation against them, false of course, was that they were members of Boko Haram. So, I mean, even at that, we said no. The fact that one is an alleged member of Boko Haram does not mean that the state can keep that person ad infinitum, forever. You know, there has to be a time that you will have to take that person to court. So we took up and we filed at the High Court for the enforcement of their fundamental rights. After making several attempts to get them released, of course they wouldn't, because this toga of being Boko Haram members was on their head. Eventually the court agreed with us that after keeping them for about 2 years, from 2012 to about 2014, when we eventually went to court, that it was in gross violation of their fundamental rights, and the court ordered for their release. And damages was awarded. I think it was 10 million naira then was awarded against the government in favor of the applicants. Well, unfortunately, as we speak, till date, it's been impossible. It's been very difficult for us to enforce the payment of these damages to them.
Justice seems to dawn, but the clouds of corruption and defiance cast a long shadow over the law.
Past judgment, some of them compensate us with 10 million. So from there, they can't transfer the case to Federal High Court. That's the reason why they can't carry us for Nigerian Army custody. We spent good 1 year for them.
High Court Jabi discharged us, but the IPO still arrests us. He said he did not satisfy with the case. He arrests us, he takes us to his custody again for another different torture. He said he asked us that we should agree that we are a member of Boko Haram. Why are we refusing in the court? We should answer that we are a member of Boko Haram. He knows what to do. Say he will release us. The police, IPO, Aliu Abdulaziz.
Prison is not a place, because where you will see different people, different criminals, different kidnappers who there, armed robbers.
We are suffering, crying, gnashing with some quarter bed boss, all. They chop, eat our waste, they suck our blood. We are staying with hunger, no hope. We are hopeless people. We didn't know that one day we are going to survive like this.
Pure water, one for two people. Like, some people went mad. It's just by God's grace we are alive today, because even the Boko Haram in the cell, they said, we are not supposed to be here. If they will have opportunity there, they will kill us. We can't even sleep. Our eyes are all open throughout. Throughout that 6 years, we're just passing through hell. Only God knows the reason why we are alive today.
The IPO asked our parents that they should bring money for them so that they will release us. We didn't know that he make them like machine money. He's demanding some money. We should bring 500,000 naira. We should bring 1 million naira for them. Our case file is in the IGO police. Our case file is in the so places. So our people, they should bring so amount so that they will release us. From there, our parents started selling what they have, some of their lands, some of what they have to started bringing the money. After, when they bring that money, it will be silent. Like 2 to 3 months, they will still ask another money. Our case now, the case has finished, the case have done, they should bring another so money. The case this and that. They will still sell another thing. Kai, it was there. We tell our parents that, Kai, please, they should not sell anything.
The man, our IPO, is just using opportunity to carry us from one place to another, just to make us suffer. He was just changing cell to cell, from cell to cell. He was trying to hide us, you understand?
The judgment of this honorable court is ready. This is the judgment of the court. I hold that the prosecution has failed to prove this case against the defendants beyond reasonable doubt as required by our laws. I therefore find the defendants not guilty as charged. Consequently, all the defendants are hereby discharged and acquitted. I order that the state pays the defendants a total sum of 10 million naira as damages for this unjustifiable prosecution. This is the judgment of the court.
So I want to thank God for the life of my lawyers that they enter this case. We did not owe them anything. We did not give them anything. And they stand for us, all of us. They fight our case together. We are 8 in numbers, 1 diary of recent. Then we are 7, all of us, that we are discharged and acquitted.
How has the society benefited from torture? The answer is in no way. Because you have wasted, if you had not relied on that torture, probably conducted some kind of proper investigation without the use of torture, you would have realized, even from the office of the Director of Public, DPP, Director of Public Prosecution, that there was no need prosecuting those people in the first place. But you had wasted state resources, you have wasted the time of both the courts and the prosecution in trying to establish that that they were terrorists on the basis of a confession that was obtained by torture. So, if you eradicate torture, the society finally benefits. It's a win-win situation for the society, because the resources you waste in prosecuting cases like that will be channeled to other good use.
main work of the National Human Rights Commission is to promote and protect human rights. And in promoting and protecting human rights, one of the key areas of, I would say, no-go areas is the issue of torture, inhuman and degrading treatment. You know, Chapter 4 of the Constitution talks about protection of human rights, But you notice that in the case of torture cannot be justified under any ground. So the commission goes all out to make sure that all complaints to it with regard to torture, inhuman and degrading treatment are investigated. So it's a major plank of our work, and you cannot talk about promotion and protection of human rights, especially when it comes to violations from law enforcement agents without dealing with cases of torture, inhuman and degrading treatment.
It is very clear, based on Amnesty International's years of reports and investigation, that torture is still very, very prevalent, especially by law enforcement agencies in Nigeria. Torture is so rampant, if you recall, to the extent that Nigerian youths have to take to the streets in 2020 in October to protest about the rampant and incessant cases of torture, ill treatment, and extortion by the disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad that is called SAS. Because torture mostly happens in secret, that is why many people don't know about what is going on. But in some cases, survivors tell us about many methods that are being used. For example, one of the prevalent methods being used by Nigerian security forces is beating. Beating is a prohibited form of torture that is very widely used by the Nigerian security agencies. Another method of torture that is very prevalent is hanging. People being tied to have their heads hanging. And there is also even depriving people of access to their families and depriving them of access to their lawyers or to their doctors. Also, that is another subtle form of torture. So there are many, many methods. In fact, there is even extraction of nails. They extract people's nails sometimes. Sometimes they help people, they pour cold water on people. Sometimes it is about keeping people in isolation. Sometimes it is about tying their hands from the back and depriving them the ability to use their hands. Many people died in the process of all these forms of torture, and is very prevalent especially among the Nigerian security forces.
On one side, you have laws, both national laws that the country have enacted that will promote prevention of torture. You also have international conventions which the country has signed and ratified. So it's not as if we are short of laws. The major problem is how do you ensure that these laws are implemented? So I think the biggest work is to implement laws that promote prevention of torture. It's to ensure that all of those provisions in both the Constitution of Nigeria and other legislations, and also in the conventions, international conventions that Nigeria has signed, that we are actually putting steps, making sure that actions and processes are put in place to implement. That's not happening, so that's one big chunk of the problem. The second chunk of problem is actually the problems that you can align with the issue of almost like impunity. So if those perpetrators who have committed acts of torture are being brought to book, then it can play a deterrent role. That's not happening. And the third layer is lack of comprehensive intervention in terms of rehabilitation, providing support to victims. That is also lacking.
Today we have an Anti-Torture Act that has been passed, and it's an act that operates all over the country. However, there are actions that the Attorney General, pursuant to the provisions of that act, should take. There are communities that the act mandates the Attorney General to set up, to monitor the implementation of the act itself. These are not being done.
Anti-Torture Act of 2017, there's still a little bit more work that needs to be done on it, because it does not provide the kind of, make provision for proper rehabilitation for victims of torture. And I think that needs also to be put in place to make sure that that is more comprehensively done.
Freedom brings no end to the ordeal. Each life, irreparably altered, treads a path shadowed by their unjust past. The scars of injustice run deep. Their lives, forever entangled with the shadows of that fateful day, tell a story of pain, resilience, and the ongoing quest for justice.
We don't suffer for good 7 years, but waiting we don't know up, we don't know down. And waste our time. And even the time when they discharge the case, they don't even say, let them fix us for any government work, or we will, at least for the years what we spend for back.
To start all over again is not easy. I can't say that I ruined my life. I'm just managing.
They should pay us our damage, our outstanding, our salary outstanding, my promotion, nothing be given to me.
It's difficult to really monitor the use of torture by law enforcement, and they've so advanced in the methods they use to torture people now. And they have torture chambers. Before SARS was disbanded, at Abattoir here, you can't imagine the various kinds of ways they torture people to make sure that maybe you will not be able to get any evidence to deal with them, if you decide to take the matter up. So,
psychological torture can be post-traumatic stress disorder. It can come in form of depression, anxiety disorder, flashbacks, tension and fear, difficulty in getting people getting to trust those persons who seem close or like those people who have tortured you. But it's important to note that psychological effects of torture are very long-lasting. And unfortunately, because many times people may not see the scars and they feel that they're not able to reconcile that. But that impact will affect your ability to function effectively. That is why it is important that we put an end to this problem, and that intervention should also look at dealing with psychological effect.
Anti-torture campaigners need the support of the security agencies to inspect detention centers. That is number one. To inspect police stations. And number two, another challenge is record. Because in most cases, because torture is carried out in secret, you hardly have any record. Therefore, when people are being tortured, there is no record that they were tortured. Because those doing it themselves, they know that it's illegal, and that's why they don't keep any record. So for you as an activist against torture, it will be very difficult for you to establish a case because there was nothing for you to fall back on in order to build a case for justice for a victim.
Almost every time, even now that I'm talking to you, every day I can never forget the torturing that police are doing for me. Always, even though I'm praying, even though I'm staying, sometimes I will be like, they tied me with chain and uncuff. Sometimes I will remember when I'm in New Busakainji Road. Sometimes I will remember when I was hung up, when I'm torturing, when I'm crying, telling them that I'm innocent. Almost every day. And anytime, every day, if I see police, my mind is bitter.
Nigerian police, they are not trying. They are not trying, to say the facts, because they are just arresting innocent people. Go keep them for nothing. Because if I can remember, people who live with them, inside the place where they keep us, we reach almost 120. And if you inside 120, what we did for that place, if you can't select the confirmed Boko Haram, they no pass 20. The rest of the people, all are innocent.
We are 8, but one of us died in the prison, and we are almost emotionally tortured because being behind bars for like good 6 years without knowing what you did, which the government know that like the police people know that, yes, we know nothing about it. Police people, if they made an arrest, at least they should know they should go into deep investigation, because we have many innocent people behind bars now that they know nothing about Boko Haram or anything. Some of them, they arrested them for nothing.
What I'm experienced there in the custody, most of the custody they took me home, I know that there's many innocent souls that police keep there. Maybe for me, I know that I'm innocent, so police arrest me, and with other my classmates, I know that all of us, they are innocent, so and police arrest them, detain them, most of them die.
The battle for justice is steeped in bureaucracy indifference and often outright hostility.
So they are out there now. The question is, after wasting about 6 years, how does a young man pick up his life? Where does he pick up his life from? At the end of the day, if that young man goes back to crime, goes back to criminality, it is the society that has pushed him into that.
I have nothing to do. I leave police with God, for God to take my revenge, because it's not an easy, even for the first time that I told them that I'm not a member of Boko Haram, but they treated me like Boko Haram. They suffer me, they torture me, they naked me, they police delay my future. They wanted to kill me. I thank God for now that I survived.
Why will you detain a suspect for a year without him communicating with his own parents, with his family, with his loved ones? It's uncalled for. It's not done that way.
They need a lot of changes. Until the system is changed, I can see there is no any hope. Once you fell a victim, only God will save you.
I think it's important to look at our interventions for survivors from a holistic perspective. Those interventions can be interventions that relate to physical support, medical, support. It could be legal support, it could be psychological intervention, it could be social, it could be anything that even deals with issues of livelihood. So what needs to be done is a question of ensuring that whatever pains that the victims have gone through, whatever needs that the victims have gone through, that needs to be addressed to be able to ensure that that victim's healing becomes comprehensive is done. So it is something that requires a multi-sectoral approach in terms of the different professionals that needs to come into bear.
Many people may end up, just because of an experience of being tortured, they never recover for the rest of their lives. Therefore, we have to make sure that all these things, all this support, all these kind of, so-called rehabilitation process are available for victims or survivors of torture. And fundamentally, above all this, is justice at the end of it. Every victim must get compensation and must get justice, and the suspect, the person behind the torture, must face justice, because if we don't do that, whatever we do, we have not answered the questions.
They can't even pay us our damages. Is it the government are not capable to pay us the damages, or what? Or the police government are not capable to pay us our damages? We have passed through hell for the 6 years for what we don't know. Unlawful detention, that's what I call it, because they know that we are innocent.
In Ashaka, life goes on, beneath the long shadows of a tragedy that continues to echo through the lives of Johanna and his companions, a stark reminder of the perilous consequences of unchecked power and the enduring struggle for human dignity.
Now I'm struggling doing my school to prove what police lies against me, they are liars, and they can never make me to become a member of Boko Haram or terrorists anywhere. My being in detention, if I will be a member of Boko Haram or if I will be a terrorist, I could have been. I'm suffering. I'm using my 2 hands and my 2 legs to suffer, to struggle, to look for a job. I'm a carpenter. Despite, even though it's not a carpenter work, building, mason, shoemaker, farm work, anywhere, anything that I will do to survive myself, I'm doing it. loyal and humble. I don't want to ask. I want to use my hands to survive myself.
There should be a situation whereby the security agencies are giving a warning, a very strong-worded warning, to make sure that they know that when they commit torture, they will face justice. That is number one. Number two, we should make sure that there is a framework for investigation by security agencies. We have a situation whereby when security agencies don't have, most of them don't even have the investigation skills. Therefore, they want to take the shortcut to investigation, which is torture the person. Torture him, he will say it. Instead of using modern, developed and sophisticated methods of investigation to extract information from people, they rather believe that they have to torture the person so as to get the information. So the Nigerian authorities have to make sure that officers, law enforcement agents who are involved in investigations have the right skills for investigation so that they cannot be replacing investigation skills with torture. That is very important. And number two, for the judiciary, we need a total overhaul of the criminal justice system, whereby any case of torture should be given a speedy, very speedy hearing, and there should be a thorough investigation to make sure that it does not take long for the victim to get justice. And the people themselves have to continue to devise means of protecting themselves. That is, by making sure that they, as much as possible in a very safe way, they record every stage of the process through which they are tortured.
As a nation, we need to have a centralized database of all places of detention and of all persons in detention. Because once you have that, torture and cases such as extrajudicial killings will be able to be controlled or tracked. So we need to be able to know that. We need to be able to ensure that visitation happen. But also, this notion of training on human rights, I mean, that's basically what you see me doing here now, but the issue around training that many of us have been doing for security agencies need to be fully embedded, not just about training them, but about ensuring that these trainings are changing their attitude and changing their behaviors. So people must be able to see that it's not right to torture, and it literally under no circumstance should torture be ever accepted. In the Anti-Torture Act of 2017, it's 25 years imprisonment. Everywhere I train security agencies, when I ask them about the Anti-Torture Act, and I tell them about this provision of 25 years, many of them, in short, almost 99% of them have never heard about it. I've never known that this provision is there. So again, it is a question of creating that awareness and ensuring that what is in the law is actually affecting attitudinal change and behavior.
This documentary highlights the devastating effects of torture and the role each of us plays in demanding justice. Let Johanna's story be a reminder that unchecked power and cruelty can victimize anyone, even those who are meant to uphold the law.